Hello again, grade 3 and 4. It's time for our second lesson on cursive writing. Today we're going to practice the letters I, T, L, F, H, K, and the letter B. All of these letters, again, use the same format. So that's why I picked these letters for our second lesson. What I need you to do this time, if you haven't already, is to print off the second sheet that I have put on the website and use it to follow along with you. You can either watch the whole video, then go back and do the sheet, or you can play the video and pause it as you go and practice the letters as you go. What I saw from the students who have been putting in the submissions yesterday was not all of you are putting a whole sheet full of letters. And if you really do want to learn how to do cursive writing, it's really imperative that you really do practice the letters and you put as many letters on the line as you can so that you train your hand and you train your brain how to start and end each letter. It's the best way to learn. So again, we'll get started today. We'll practice those letters and then we'll practice writing some words out. And don't forget, I put blank sheets up on the website as well so that you can practice as much as you want with the letters from yesterday as well, making words up or making up, fake words up or useless words up, whatever you want to call them, just to practice connecting letters to each other so that when you do start writing all the time, you'll know how to connect any letter to any other letter. Okay, so let's get started. So the first letter we're going to do today is the letter I. And to do an I, you start on the line. And again, you need a tail leading into it. You go up to the dotted line and down back to the regular line, and then you put a dot. Up, follow the same line back down. Try to have it go up and down on the same line so that you don't have a big wide split between them. You do not want to have this. That is not what you want to have. You want to have up and down on the same line so they look nice and tight together. And you want to have a whole line filled with eyes all the way along. You want to have the up and the down together, nice and tight together with the dot above it. Your second line is one eye leading into a second eye, and then when you're all finished, you can put the two dots above it. So one eye up and down leads into the second eye, up and down, and two dots above it. And I'm not going to finish the whole line, but you can finish the whole line. Our second letter today is the letter T. As you can see, the T goes from the bottom all the way to the top, past the dotted line. So up, down, following the same stick to the bottom line, and then you cross on the dotted line. So it's this exact same as the letter I, except instead of stopping at the dotted line, you go all the way to the top, to the bottom, cross on the dotted line. Up, down, cross. Up, down, cross. It goes all the way past the dotted line. Okay. Two T's would be the first T, down at the bottom, take its tail, go all the way back up, and connect it and cross 2 separate crosses on the dotted line. First T up, second T up and down, 2 separate crosses on the dotted line, up and down. Really try to make sure that your line up and down follow each other on the same line, and you want to finish the whole line. Okay, everybody? The more you practice, the better you're going to get. Our third letter of the day is the letter L. The letter L is the same as the I and the T, except, especially like the T, but instead of when you go up to the top, but then you curve at the top and you come back down. They don't follow each other back down. You have a loop around to the left and a curve around. So it's up, loop to the left, curve and down. That is an L. Notice I want to have a long loop. The longer you can make the loop, the longer the loop is, the better the L looks. The longer the loop, the better the L looks. You don't want to just have a loop way up at the top and then curve. That's not much of a letter L. Okay? You want to go up, a long loop, and bring it down. Up, a long loop, and bring it down. So you want to almost have it cross at the bottom, and you want to have a long, skinny loop. A long, skinny loop. 2 L's in line 6 would be a long, skinny loop, cross all the way back up to a long, skinny loop. Long, skinny loop to a long, skinny loop. Long, skinny loop to a long, skinny loop. All right. Our next letter is the letter F. It is actually the letter L with a bottom attachment to it. So you would have the letter L, but instead of putting the tail on it, we go halfway below the line, a forward loop, and kick it back out. Long, skinny loop like an L, halfway below the line, straight down, forward loop, kick it out. Long, skinny L, halfway down, forward loop, kick it out. Okay. So long, skinny L, halfway down, forward loop, kick out a tail. Long, skinny loop, forward loop, kick out a tail. So 2 F's would be a long, skinny loop, straight down below the line, halfway below the line, kick it out forward, shoot a tail out, straight back up into another long, skinny loop, forward loop, and a tail. It's the letter L, forward loop, straight back out into another long L, forward loop, right back to the line, kick out a tail. Okay, so the letter L, halfway below, forward loop, kick out a tail, letter L, forward loop, kick out a tail. 2 letter F's together. 9 would be the letter H. The H again is the letter L again. Notice why I've put all these together. H, to do an H, you would have a letter L, but then you go, instead of putting a tail on or going down below for an F, you go straight back up and you put a hump, then a tail. So it's the letter L, follow the line straight back up to the dotted line, put the hump, and then after your hump, you kick out a tail. It's the letter L, straight back up, put a hump and a tail. And you've created the letter H. Letter L, back up to the dotted line for a hump and put a tail. Up to the top line, straight down, back up following the same line to the dotted line, put a hump and a tail. And you've got a letter H. Up to the top, straight down, hump to the dotted line and put out a tail. And you've got an H. The more you practice, the better you'll get with your humps. A double H, letter L, up for your hump, straight back up into another L, straight down, a second hump, and a tail. L into a hump, your tail goes up to the next L, back up into another tail. And the faster you get at drawing, and the faster you get at training your hand and remembering where to start, the faster you're going to get at writing. So I can start writing these faster and faster and faster. Okay, now the letter K is our next one. And it is the same as an H, except we do a little trick with the hump. So we're going to go up like the L and down, up like the H, but instead of doing the hump, we're going to do a half a hump, then go back out and finish the hump. So we're going to do a little bubble for the top of the K and then finish the H. So up like the L, down, up like the H for the hump, get to the dotted line, do one little kick for the K, and then you're going to go back out following the same line and do a little mini hump like you would have for the H to finish the K. So I'll do it now in 3 spots. Up like the L, up like the L, do the little kick for the K, and then up like the L, do the little kick for the K, go back out and do the hump. So this would be step 1, step 2, step 3. These are your 3 steps to do the K. All right. L, up to a little hump, back out to finish the hump for the K. L, little hump to the dotted line, back out to finish the hump for the K. And there's your letter K. The K just takes an H and turns it into 2 humps. L, little hump, finish it with the second hump. So 2 Ks would be 1 K, first hump, finish it, right back out into the L with the little hump and the second hump. 2 Ks together. K with another K. A K with another K. A K with another K. A K with another K. Okay, now we're at our last letter for today. And again, it follows the exact same patterns as our other letters today. And we're going to do the letter B. A B is, again, the letter L. To the top, all the way to the bottom. And then instead of going back up and following for an H or back up and following for a K, we come, or as we get to the bottom, we come around with our tail. We bring it right to the middle. And we make a bubble for the B and then kick out a tail. So the letter L, but then bring a bubble around for the B and kick out a tail. So around for the L, bring out a bubble for the B, kick out a tail. L, bring out the bubble, kick out a tail. L, bring out the bubble, kick out a tail. L, bring out the bubble, kick out the tail. So it's just the letter L, and when you bring out its tail, turn it into a bubble for the B and kick out the tail. L, bubble, tail. So 2 B's would be L with the bubble, Use the tail to start the next L, make a bubble, and kick out a tail. The L with the bubble, use its tail to start the next B with a bubble and kick out the tail. So we have two B's together. The L with a bubble is the first B. Use its tail to start the next B, make its bubble, kick out its tail. Continue on and do a whole line in practice. So I'm going to use a few letters from yesterday and a few letters from today. We can write the word toad. T. The O, remember, goes halfway back and around. Make our loop. A. And D. Toad. Hold. H. O. Into the L, straight down, over halfway for the D, and straight down. And then I did fat, but I did it with two T's so you could practice. F, loop halfway below. A, T, and T. Remember, they get separate crosses. And balk. So that's like a baseball term. B, bring the bubble around. A is go halfway, back around. The tail turns into the L. The tail turns into the K. Up with the one little bubble, back out for the tail. Okay, and I've left you with 19 and 20 and 21 and 22. You can write whatever words you want. Make up nonsense words, make up funny words. Just practice your letters from yesterday and today and connecting them, and do as much as you can. The more you practice, the better you'll get. You don't want to have to think about how a letter starts or how a word starts. You want to be able to just do it from the very beginning and not have to think about it. Good luck, everybody.